Hello everybody, my name is Voyadex, welcome back to another Roblox video, and today's video, just behind me is the CRJ900 by Icelandair. I hope I'm saying you guys correctly, but however, massive shout out to the owner and their team for allowing me to use their CRJ900 in this product review. But before this video starts, I have got an announcement to make. So yes guys, this is a massive announcement. The AVI Awards are here, the Roblox Aviation Awards 2024. All the awards will be shown on December the 14th, but however, if you scroll down to best airline under 3,000 members, Icelandair, my airline, is here, so all you need to do is literally just click it and it'll automatically save. So don't worry, you don't have to press submit or anything, it'll just automatically save and your vote will be counted for. So all you guys need to do is click the link down in the description down below, join the AVI Awards, go to voting and scroll down to best airline under 3,000 members and take Icelandair. Thank you guys. Thank you Voyadex for that massive announcement. But anyway, here I am. Behind me is the CRJ900. The last time I flew on a CRJ on Roblox was nearly over a year ago with Delta Airlines. Now, I rarely see a CRJ on Roblox flights nowadays. I usually see like an Embraer jet or the jet streams. Or on the odd occasion I'll go on to Delta and like host the CRJ 200 flight, which sadly I'll be unavailable to attend. But seeing this is actually really big, it's really huge, and the detail from the angles are actually really nice. So the aircraft itself is actually really cool. So just before I continue onwards with the aircraft review, I'm going to go through the features list that's on their Discord, which I will leave in the link in the description down below. So the list does follow with the SkyTech plane kit, a simple yet realistic FO guide, realistic CRJ900 sounds, custom made 3D model, a UV map because it is going to be a mesh aircraft, not a CSG aircraft, awesome looking interior, working systems, gear suspension, realistic animations, working stairs and handles, removable chokes and remove before flight tags, one pre-made livery included, built-in checklist, cruise functions, built-in ground power unit. I'm going to have to check that out, that's going to be really cool. A cabin system, a rank-only system, so that's basically your group ID and your group, basically the group ranking that you want your staff to use any systems on board the aircraft. A working cabin such as an overhead bins and the window shades as well, and many more. The price ranges from 2,500 Robux, and there's only 7 copies left apparently on this Discord, but I don't know if you guys are going to watch this video in the future. They may have gone off by then, or they'll probably add more in stock. But you can purchase it in the hub, which I will leave in the link description down below. Or you could pay it with $14 US, which will be an unlimited copy on their little pay hip here. Also, which I've also noticed that it does actually include some feature pictures here for you. It includes also a manual document you guys can also find out on their Discord as well. So yeah, let's get back into the aircraft. And we're back with the aircraft, so I'm going to go around with the ground crew features. So it did mention about the remove before like flight tags and also the chokes. I'm assuming as well the cargo doors do open from the ground crew side, not in the FO guide. And I also see the engine covers there, which would be really awesome for the ground crew features. So if I just click on these, they should just come off. And they do fade off. It's not like an auto quick and it just comes off straight away. It does fade off, which is pretty cool to see. The chokes actually got some good detail with the chokes, which actually looks really nice. I gotta say that. I gotta give credit for that. So it's really cool. And they do fade away as well as the remove tags. The cargo doors I can also open from the ground crew side, which is actually really cool. And they've got a lot of space in there. If we can see, if I just go into free cam here, we can see that there is some sort of space here. So if you guys got like a ground crew handling baggage system, you can put it just underneath here. And I think there is one at the back of the aircraft, which is just over here, which we will see in just a moment. I'm assuming this is a cargo. I'm going to have to assume it is. It does say cargo doors, so I'm assuming it is the cargo. So if I just move around here, the wings look really good. They look massive as well. I know you guys will probably see it different from from the video, but from my angle when I'm doing this, it actually looks really massive. The gears as well are very well detailed, which looks really nice as well. You can see the springs as well, which looks really cool. And let's see this engine here. Well, the engine and cargo door, sorry. So we're just going to go into the cargo, and wow, this actually got a lot of space. The detail as well inside the cargo is actually really nice. Like you can see the bolts and everything. That just looks really cool. So let's try and get to the engine. Oh, the thing there just click offs. And there we go, they just fade away. Wow, that's really cool. So let's go back into free cam here, and the engine detail is really nice. Actually really cool. I want to point out as well the tail as well. Like look at all the bolts and all the lining as well. That looks really nice and really cool. But anyway, we're going to go inside the aircraft. So let's go. Let's take a look at this. And yeah, like again, I'm going to say this again. Like the detail they've done to this is actually really nice. Like you can actually see how much detail they put on this as well, with all the open sides as well, the exit, the bolts and everything. Like actually, has got really good detail. Now look at the features listed. They say the handles do move, which looks really. Oh, there we go. Now that is actually really cool. And yeah, again guys, I'm going to mention this, and I will always mention this, is that you guys can save a lot of money by doing this. So if you purchase a small aircraft like the CRJ900, or in my last video the Q400, which you guys can watch at the end of this video, that you guys can save a lot of money, because you guys are having to pay for like air stairs and ramps and stuff like that, or you can use building tools to build like wedges for your passengers to get off the aircrafts. However, these best aircrafts on Roblox do actually include these stairs and other things as well. So you guys, yet again, are saving a lot of money. So let's go in here. So we've got a lot of cabin crew catering carts here, which is really cool to be fair. For a small aircraft like this, it's got a lot of them. They got all the hot holding, like the food hot holding units, the water and stuff like that. You got the food storage, or even like cups, napkins and stuff like that. The CRJ series, you got it there. And I'm assuming this is a lavatory. If I can say, ooh. Here we go. This is actually very well detailed. You got like the shampoo here, you got the tap, big mirror. That's really cool. Like a little rubbish bin sign here, and if I click on this, I believe the toilet seat does come up. I've never seen this on Roblox. This is the first time I've ever seen this. I need to get on board one of these on an actual flight. So if any airlines got this, give me a massive shout out, because I am going to come on board and actually see this. Like, this is actually really cool. I've never actually seen this actually happen. I probably have and probably missed it, but I've never actually seen that happen, so fair enough. I can give him credits for the tech group for that, to add that in. And I believe this door does open as well. I'm assuming the animations are on the inside of the aircraft, not on the outside. And I think, hang on, maybe they are, or maybe not. I think it's only on the inside, like the last aircraft I reviewed. Yeah, the animations are only in the inside of the aircraft, not on the outside. And the smoothness of that as well is actually really nice. I gotta point that out. I'll come back to the little cabin crew panel here. So looking at the interior, it looks really nice. It's got a lot of space as well. It's even got the outlines here to say where to put the seats. It's already got seat pockets for you here ready, so you don't have to mess around in Roblox Studio. And if I believe when it said on the features list, the window shades do come down, I believe. Oh wow, they actually do. That's actually really nice. It even goes halfway as well on preference, and then completely shut if you guys want a nice, good sleep without any light coming through. So that looks really nice. Some features I did miss from the last aircraft review was the lights and the air conditioning apparently do work and come on, but I don't think they work on this one. I think that's supposed to be the light and air conditioning. The overhead bins I believe did also work, and I did miss that out. But if I just click on these, they do actually open again. Yet again, they do not lie on the features list. This is actually included, which is really nice. So coming to the back of the aircraft, we do see only one flight attendant seat at the back here. We've got the more food storages, and yet again we've got another lavatory with the same features, with the shampoo and the very best toilet open seat I've ever seen on Roll Aviation history. But let's take a seat in our little flight attendant seat, or jump seat, whatever you want to call it. And it does come with the things. Yes, my arms do go missing. I probably am wearing the package, which is probably not supposed to be, or is that supposed to be a thing? I don't actually know. But it also comes with the little seat belts as well, with the flight attendants as well, which is actually a really cool feature to see. So yeah, it's actually got a really nice interior to say. Like, it's got a lot of things that the passengers can do, like open the overhead bins. They can do the window shades. You can even go to both lavatories, which is actually a really cool feature with the open toilet seat. So the interior as well for passengers has actually got a really nice touch to it. So let's go to the cabin crew panel. So coming to the cabin crew panel, I think it's just a simple click. And yet again, guys, you do need to have a group ID and a group ranking when you're doing your own CRJ. So if I click on this, it does appear, which is actually really nice to see. So it's got the welcome, it's got the lights up the screen. So the options we have got is the credits. So if we just go to credits, it does give the credit to the developer who actually made the whole cabin crew panel. So massive shout out to them. So if we just come back, I do have a music option as well. So the audio does play inside, but I'm not going to play any audio just because I don't want to get done for copyright, and you guys know what YouTube are like. But you know, if you got your own safety audios, or you want to play some custom boarding music, or just music in general, you guys can play it in here, and I'm pretty sure the music does work only on the inside of the aircraft, not on the outside. So I'll click on back and go to cabin lighting. So it's only got a minimum of options. It has got an on-off, which is, I'm not really sure what that is, but I'm assuming that's just the lights in general. So I'll just click on this. It is on, yes. And it's actually got a star feature as well, which is actually really nice, like AirLineS. So that's actually got a really cool feature. So I'll press on this again. Does it have auto? Oh, there we go, got auto. So I don't know what really, I'm not sure what automatic actually means. I don't know whether that's just supposed to be like for boarding or deboarding, or I'm not really sure. But I think it's just a little disco going on inside, having a little party in here. Guys, let's go. I'm going to invite everyone for a good CRJ 900 party. But anyway, if I click on and go through the lights, it actually got a really nice, it even fades in and out, which is actually really cool. So when you if I click on this, it does fade out and then fade back into the colour you select. So it's got a limited option of lighting, but it has got the correct ones as well, depending on your airline of choice as well, and also for like boarding or cruising and stuff like that. So you've still got a good choice of lighting to use, which is actually really cool. And I think that's really it on the cabin crew panel, which is actually really simple and really to use, really. But anyway, let's go into the cockpit and check out the controls. So moving on to the cockpit, I want to mention I was messaged by the owner of the aircraft and the tech company that they are still working on the cockpit, so hopefully in a future update they will add it on. But it's got a lot of space to it, so I'm assuming when they add the cockpit it will be a bit tiny. However, it's got 2 seats, it's got the captain and the first officer. However, when you hover around them, you can't automatically sit down on them. You have to press and hold down E, which is probably group scripted for your group ID and your ranking. So let's move on to the first officer. I have changed the time of day, so we can have a look around the little lights. So we've got a really nice loading screen here, like loading FOK, which looks really cool. And it should just appear at the bottom of your screen like this. Now, I know most of you in the last video told me that I was outdated and owed the fact that I've never seen a first officer guide like this. I do apologise. I do use the same aircrafts on my flights, so I use AIRLINES and Zerotech so often, so I get to see the same things over and over again. I never seem to branch out and see other first officer guides and captain control, so I do apologise on that. However, we've got a hide guide here, so if I just hide the guide here, it will just hide it, so anyone taking pictures for your flights, the first officer has got the good full control of taking good pictures for you. So I'll press that again, it will reappear. And it does come with a checklist, which it did mention in the features list on their Discord, so if I press the L button here, it does come with a normal checklist here, which is actually very helpful for anybody that's just been promoted to first officer or anyone that's training to be first officer. For your airlines, that is here for you for a little checklist. That'll help you out very much. So I'll press L again, it will disappear. So we're going to move on to the power side of things, because I can't really use the aircraft without using any power. So I'll turn on the battery and then the APU and then the hydraulics. Then therefore the aircraft can work with the flaps and the engines and the rest of the aircraft. Now I do appear to have some sound. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but there are like a really tiny sound. So you guys, I want to point out is that when you buy this aircraft, you will have the sounds to your cell. That's only because sometimes robots can be really weird, but you guys, it does come with a sound pack, so you guys can have the sound on Roblox creations. So let's move on to the flaps. So if I just zoom out a little bit here and get to the wings, you can see the flaps are just at the bottom here at the back. So if I press the flaps here, it does change the flap angle, which is actually really cool. But you can see there are details on the flaps, so you can see there that they have been like used and stuff like that, which I can try and get a good angle for. Which you guys can just see a little bit here. They do have the little marks to prove that they have been used over time. So we move on to the spoilers. They do lift up, so you got the fly option and then you got the full mode option, which you guys can probably see from this angle as well, which looks really cool. Now I'm assuming the reverse thrusters I can't really use until the aircraft is actually in use, so if I just try and click on it, I don't think it works. So we look around the lights, we've got like the navigation beacon and stuff like that, so they do illuminate. So if I just move on to the navigation first, we have got the green light and the red light, which looks really nice. And then we got the beacon, which on the top and the bottom of the aircraft, they do flash or blinker, whatever you want to call it. The strobe, exactly the same on the side of the wings, with like blinker or flash. And the nose is the front gear, which is here, which is probably helpful for like taxiing. It does say taxi here on the lights, I'm assuming that's just on the wing. Yeah, it is, it's just on the wing, so they do like fade in and illuminate, which looks really nice. And then we got the landing lights, which is the next bulb across from the taxiing here, which looks really cool. Now this is, I'm a bit confused, I'm assuming, if I remember correctly, it's these ones here on the side of the aircraft. So if I just press it again, yeah, it's just them on the side of the aircraft, which actually looks really nice. Actually, a really cool feature there. And then the E light, I'm assuming, is it the inside? I think it's the inside. Ooh, it is the inside. That actually looks really nice. And then the logo, of course, is the back of the aircraft, the tail of your airline logo or branding on the back there, which actually looks really nice. Now the doors, however, I'm assuming they don't open. I'm assuming they're the lock options, so if I just click on these, they do lock. So therefore, no one can open the doors during your flight, which could be very annoying for many people, including myself. So moving to the miscellaneous before I go on to the power. So the miscellaneous, it does come with the seatbelt, aircon, wheel, and then park brakes. I'm assuming that's the anchor the entire aircraft, so the aircraft doesn't like move around when you guys got like the ground crew stuff or people trying to board your aircraft. I'm assuming these are the wipers, if I'm correctly. So if I try and, yes, they are. So we've got the slow option, which looks very slow. And then you got fast if you've got like very fast rain or snow coming down with the AIRLINES weather system or any other weather system that you guys use, which is a good touch of realism. So if I move on to the miscellaneous, I'm assuming if I press wheel, it does do something. And I'm assuming, I don't know what it is. I'm gonna have to find that out somewhere when I stop recording. But if we move to seat belts and aircon, it does do the blinker. And the aircon, you actually see the you can actually see the mist coming through, which is actually really cool to see in the aircon. And then the seatbelt signs, of course, do make the noise and illuminate next to the cigarettes here, which is actually really nice. The wheel, I'm unsure where the wheel is. I'm gonna have to find that out in just a moment. But, moving on to the power. So the GPU, which is the power unit, was mentioned in the features that they do have it appear on the side of the aircraft, which I have seen pictures. So I press on GPU, and it's just here on the side of the aircraft. So I just jump out. You don't have to hold like back escape or anything. The GPU does make a noise, which looks really cool. So you got like the buttons as well, and the features, which looks really cool. To be fair, you can't really do anything like click on it or anything like that. So I think which is a really cool feature. And yet again, guys, it's saving you money buying a power unit for your airline. So moving on to the power, I'm still unsure what the wheel means, so I'm probably going to have to like message the owner or put it in like a little description down below, like a little message on to explain what that actually means, because I'm unsure. Or if you guys know in the comment section down below, just let me know. So we're going to move on to the power, so we're going to move on to the engines. So I do believe they do make a startup noise, a standby noise, and then a shutting down noise, which I will do, and also mute myself so you guys can have a little listen when activating the engines. So this is where I am going to be quiet, so you guys can listen to the engines. So that both engines are now on, I've moved on into the captain seat. So on the left hand side, we've got like the speed to tell you like how fast you're going, how slow you're going, and it even tells you where to basically cruise, how much to climb, and stuff like that, which is actually really nice to see. We've got the heading, so that's the angle of the aircraft where it's pointing at right now. The engine's on and off just by pressing the E button, but I'm not turning it on just yet because the engines are quite loud and my game volume is high up at the moment. The altitude is where the aircraft is currently at. Then on the right hand side, you've got the entire controls here, so anybody that's new, you have got the controls on the right hand side here. So like again, the E is to turn on and off the engines, W to increase, and S to decrease the speed. G for gear, so that's in the captain controls, not in the first officer ones, which is really cool to see. P to exit the aircraft, A to get control of the aircraft, and L for a checklist, which I believe is the same as the first officer. So anyone with a first officer, well, you've got the communication between yourself and the first officer, going through a checklist right for role plays and during flights. And then set to hide the guys, so as well your captain can also take awesome pictures of your flights as well from the captain's side of things. C for cruise, and then camera toggle. Okay, let's have a look at this. Oh wow, so it's like an FOV or a POV, a point of view of a captain, which is actually really cool to see. And if I press it again, I'm guessing it's just the all-around camera without the A control. So if I just press control here, I do have control of the aircraft currently standing, but is currently anchored at this moment in time, which I will unanchor it in just a moment, also for us to do a little test flight and then give my final review. So now I have unanchored the aircraft on the first officer guide, I will turn on the engines. The engines will be quite loud, so this is where I'll probably mute myself so you guys can hear the engines, and then I'll probably land the aircraft and then give my final review. So I hope you guys did enjoy my flying. Yes, I understand I'm a bit rusty when it comes to smaller aircrafts when flying them. I'm used to bigger aircrafts like Voyadex and AIRLINES. But also you guys, I hope you enjoyed the engine shutdown. That was actually really cool to see. But however, I'm going to do my final review by going from the exterior of the aircraft all the way to the captain controls. So moving on to the exterior of the aircraft is actually really cool aircraft. Like looking around the aircraft itself from the start of the video, the aircraft does come with a lot of good details like the bolts and the decals and also the removed before flight tags and the engine covers. Moving on to that ground crew feature as well, mentioning with the engine covers and also the cargo doors and also the chokes. Like the ground crew has still got a lot to do when it comes to doing flights. And also I nearly forgot to mention about the gears, which I did mention about the springs, which actually got a really good detail. Like the gears have got all the good detail with the lights, including on the wings. So moving on to the interior, the stairway, which I did mention, the handles do go up and down, and also with the bolts, and also the little decals also mentioning, and it's got a lot of cabin crew stuff as well for like role playing with all the carts, the food storages, and like the cup holders and stuff like that. So it's still got a lot of features for cabin crew, including the FA seat with the seatbelt. That's actually a really nice touch as well. So however, with the interior, I gotta say the interior is actually really nice. I got to say it's probably maybe one of my best I've seen on the Roblox, with the whole lighting, the star features, the overhead bins opening, the overhead as well, the seatbelt signs, and the air conditioning coming on, which is actually a really cool feature, including the floor as well, the lights. And also, for anyone with like a starting airline or a small airline, your seats, it has got like a layout there ready for you, so you don't have to stress on where or how to put the seats in. And also the window shades with it going up and down and also going halfway is actually a really nice touch. Now before I continue, I got to mention the lavatory again. I got to say it's probably one of the best I've seen on Roblox, including that toilet seat going up and down. That's probably the best thing I've seen ever when reviewing an aircraft or reviewing an airline. And the bathroom as well is having good detail, like shampoos and the dustbin as well to use, which is actually really nice. So moving on to the cabin crew panel, I understand that I did say that the colour lighting is only limited, so I can understand why there could be a limited option. But therefore I can say that it's still a good simple cabin crew panel to use, including with the whole credit scene and also the lighting, and also with the music as well, so you can put your own like safety audio on, or any boarding music, or just the music in general, so it saves people with admin having to go off to on the game and then going back on the game to put the ID of the music in. But even though you still have to put the ID of the music in with the audio there, but you still have it on board, so it makes it realistic, so anyone that's zooming out of the aircraft can't hear it, so you have to basically zoom in to listen to the audio. So moving to the first officer guide, it's actually probably the most simplest ones I've ever used. I can't really say much about the first officer guide, apart from saying like you can hide the GUI and also having the checklist there to help with the communication in the flight deck between yourself and the captain. So the first officer guide is actually really cool, but before you actually do anything else with the aircraft, before I start recording, you have to have the battery on, the APU and the hydraulics for everything else to work on the aircraft, which is actually a good touch of realism. So moving on to the captain controls, I understand it is Skytech, and I have reviewed a Skytech aircraft before. But however, when taking off, it was a bit rough. I don't know whether it was because I have two other aircrafts in the game, or was it me. So I did really test it out after I stopped recording. It was pretty sure the aircraft, but I'm unsure because of the surface as well. And flying around in general was actually really smooth. The only issue I had was the speed. Sometimes when I decreased the speed, it took a really long time to decrease it, and then the landing itself was just smooth in general. So the first officer and also the captain guides and the controls are actually really simple to use. Now moving on to the rating, I've got to give this a solid 8 out of 10. This is a really cool and modernised aircraft. It's very well detailed, and I got to say, if you're starting an airline or currently in an airline looking for a new aircraft, this aircraft is for you guys. Because if you're starting up an airline, it's got all the features you need, it's got all the animations, you don't have to waste any money on like any mood lighting or the GPU or anything like that. It's all there ready for you. Even if you're still currently in a small airline, this is for you basically, because it's got everything you need, and you're not losing any money. You've literally just bought the aircraft and you've got most of the features there ready for you, so you're not wasting any money or having to save money to purchase little assets for your aircraft. But that is it for the product review. If you guys want me to do any more, make sure to comment down below. But before this video ends, I've been given a promo code by LinerTech, so if you use Voyadex24, you get 25% off all products on the LinerPay HIP website. So you guys, I will put that in the link description down below, including all my social links and LinerTech's. And if you want any more information about the aircraft, make sure to comment down below or join LinerTech, and I'm more than happy to give you any more information down below. So make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and see you guys soon.